So good morning and good evening, friends and masters. Thank you for joining today's session. So we are now going to the book, The Power of Now. Yesterday we went through the chapter 1. So today we'll go over the chapter 2. So let me share the slides. So those who have came today, so the book is The Power of Now. The author is Eckhart Tolle. So it helps us, it guides us to be in the present moment. How we can solve most of the problems or understand ourselves just by being in the present moment or being in now. So the chapter 2 is consciousness, the way out of pain. So just being consciously aware, we can come out of the pain or we can heal the pain. So let's understand more about this. So create no more pain in the present, right? So don't create more pain in the present. That's what the author is saying. So most of the times what happens, right? Our pain is self-created. Our mind runs in the past or future, right? It almost runs in the autopilot. It constantly thinks on whatever has happened or what's going to happen, and it causes pain, right? So pain comes from non-acceptance. So whatever is happening, if you're not accepting that, it causes suffering or causes pain to us. Right? In thoughts, we always judge why this happened to me or why this person did to me, whatever, we always judge what happened. And in emotions, we feel low, we feel negative. Like we feel, like we are separate. No one is, liking us or they're separating us or why they told us. We feel emotionally low or fearful or whatever the negative emotions. The more we identify this with the mind, the more we attach to these thoughts and emotions, the more we suffer. So we just need to be as an observer, like what thoughts are coming or what emotions are coming, right? When we live in time, we miss the peace of present moment because the mind always runs in the past and future. It never be in the present. So we must be as an observer in the present moment. Then all this suffering and everything will get dissolved. So freedom comes from making the now. As much as you try to be in the present moment, in the now, then the freedom comes and you'll be detached from all these emotions. Use past and future only for practical needs. And whenever you require, you want to recollect anything, right? Then you can go into the past. Or if you want to think about your goals, what you want to do, then you can imagine about future. But other than that, most of the time, try to be as much as possible in the present moment, in the now. The core practice is say yes. Accept whatever is happening right now. The more you resist, the more, it causes the pain or suffering. Just accept whatever is happening right now in this moment. Just surrender to that. Once you accept, then you can act accordingly. People say if you are doing meditation and if lot of things, you will not get anger. We get anger. That's fine. Just you need to accept that, okay, right now I'm getting anger or I'm angry or I'm sad. You need to acknowledge, accept that. And then you can act accordingly. Then when you take a pause, you know how to act or how to react. It doesn't mean that I'm getting angry. I can say 10 words, I can shout loudly, or I can hit someone. Right? Getting anger is not in my hand because it comes from the mind, emotions, lot of things. But how I can react once I get anger, how can I react? Whether to shout or to stay calm or to say some positive words, that is in my hand, that I can be aware of. Right? How to act is in my hand, so we can be aware of that. The past pain, right? The pain body. So most of the time what happens from since childhood, right? The day to day, we go to a lot of things. So many times we think, right, certain things, certain incidents happen. We think, okay, we have overcome that. We just ignore them, and we just move on. But those emotions, right, they are unprocessed. They are stored inside. So the more it stores, the keep on, lot of incidents come, lot of situations happen, it keep on storing, and it becomes the pain body. That's why they say whatever happens, immediately resolve it or let it go, but don't carry forward. If we don't let it go or if we don't resolve, then knowingly or unknowingly we are storing those emotions, right? That residue within us. And it keeps on adding, and it becomes a pain body. The pain body, sometimes it be, inactive in some people, right? Most of the times it's there. Whenever the situation comes, it just triggers out. And sometimes it become more active. Immediately if something happens, it gets triggered, right? So 90% of time it's inactive, but 10% of it, based on the situations, it becomes active. To some people, it becomes even more. They cannot handle the situations. So it tries to make us identify with it. So whenever this it triggers, right, we identify, "Oh, this is what I am, or this is how I should react. In past, these things have happened." So similarly, we try to react in the same way. So if in past someone said something, we have reacted, we have shouted, but it doesn't mean that every time the same situation comes, we have to react in a similar way. This time we can be more aware and react in a different way. But normally what happens, because that emotion, that action is stored in our mind, we react similar way. The pain body feeds on anger, resentment, drama, grief, right? The more these things comes up, the more that energy goes to the pain body. So it wants similar kind of emotions. So even if you don't react, it makes you react. The mind thinks in a certain way that it makes you take that action because that pain body needs those emotions. So pain body feeds on pain only. If you feel happy, it doesn't get anything. So it wants you to act in that way. So fighting with it doesn't help. So you need to be aware, just be in the present moment. Becoming the witness breaks this identification. So conscious attention turns pain into awareness. When you are aware, okay, right now I'm feeling bad, or right now, my leg is hurting, or my hand is hurting. If you be an observer, you don't feel that much pain and you can understand what you can do to overcome that. Otherwise, we just feel, okay, my leg is paining, or something is happening. We keep on chanting. There is no solution for that. When you be an observer, right, it get resolved. At least the physical pain we can identify, we know, but the emotional pain is very dangerous. So we need to observe what we are going through internally. So how to dissolve this pain body? Right now we know that we are having this pain body. Now how we can dissolve or how we can overcome this? So the author says, notice when it comes up. Whenever it triggers, right, any irritation, impatience, anything comes up, just observe what's happening, from where it's coming, from which situation I'm getting triggered. Just be aware of that. Don't add anything, any thoughts or judgment. Just be an observer, like what's happening. Gently name it. This is the pain body. Just think that it's not that you are going through this pain, it's the pain body going through that, and you be as an observer. So stay as a watch and let awareness transform the pain naturally. As you observe, right? Be an observer, then it naturally this get dissolved. You don't feel that pain, you will understand. Or you can just be, as you be aware, right? You send energy, okay, I'm healing this or this situation, I'm sending the positive energy or I'm healing my thoughts. If you send a positive intention, definitely it can overcome that. So ego identification with the pain body. So when you be an observer, now what happens? That emotional body is not getting anything. So starts, it starts get ego. The mind gets ego now because it says the fear of fear. Now the mind and the ego is getting fear. What if it loses its identity? Right? Long held pain can become a false identity. Most of the time, people, who are going through a lot of things, right? They think that this is how their lifestyle is. Being sad, being sorrowful, that is how they are. They don't want to come out of that. We have noticed, right, in our friends or family, in many situations where people have gone through certain things, right? They want to be alone, they want to be separate. Even if we call them, come outside, mingle with people, talk to people, they don't want. They just want to be by themselves because they fear that ego in the mind is getting feared. If what if, if we overcome the situation, then what will happen? That ego has to dissolve. It doesn't want to happen in that way. So it wants us to be in that emotion most of the time, right? If I lose my pain, who am I? So many times people, right? The mind itself is thinking, right? Because when we are going to some pain or some health issues, what happen? We get people attention. People, they come, they do something things for us. What if I'm get healed? They don't talk to me or they don't do things for me. We think in that way and we want to be in that state for longer period of time. It's all the mind is playing the drama here. So the resistance shows up. We get more attached to the suffering, repeating painful stories, what happened in the past or what happens in childhood. We keep on repeating them, and the mind creates this kind of emotion drama. It goes on within. So healing begins when resistance is seen clearly, right? When you observe, don't resist, just the healing will start naturally. Disidentifying from pain weakens the ego. When you no longer get attached to that pain or suffering, then what happens? The ego or whatever the mind, it gets, weakened. And it cannot overcome. It cannot control you. Now you are detached from it. So the presence strengthens the awareness. The more you are aware, it strengthens the awareness or your consciousness, like a small flame growing near a bigger flame. So what happened to the consciousness? When you observe, your consciousness dissolve this, you know, the thoughts or emotions. It cannot change, we cannot change, but it transmutes it into a light. Or it becomes that consciousness, the pain or suffering, and it gets dissolved. It cannot be destroyed, but it just transmutes. The origin of fear. So from where this fear is coming. So most of the time, it comes from the unchangeable past. So whatever happened, we always recollect, I shouldn't have done this, or it shouldn't have happened that way. We cannot change, so we always be in that fear. And imagine future. What's going to happen? Which is not in our control. So the practical caution is not physiological fear. Physiological fear is about what might happen in the future. Imagine you're going on a street, you're crossing the road, you will be careful, you'll be calm, careful, and you at the same time you'll be alert. You'll be watching, right, both the ways, like whether any car or anything is coming, and then you safely cross the road. That is done. You were alert till that moment, you were worried till you cross the road. But once you're done, you're free from there. That is a practical caution. But once you cross the road, if you're still thinking, what if when I was crossing the road, what if some car came or, some truck came? What if I got hurt? What if I got hit by them? People think in that way and they be in that fear, constant fear. The things which didn't happen, they just imagine and they be in that fear. That becomes a psychological. And again, whatever, then again they recollect whatever the incidents they saw on TV or they heard from someone or they read in some newspapers that some accidents happen somewhere. They keep on thinking those and they create a mind movie and they always be in that fear, which didn't happen to them. But yet the mind, creates all these situations. The mind moves into the future and causes the anxiety. That ego constantly feels under threat, right? When the mind is in anxiety, the ego fears, what if this happened? What if that happened? Then the body receives the message that I'm not safe. Then because of this, that I'm not safe, what happened? The fear is rooted in ego's fear of death. So what happens? Most of the time, our ego is not letting us, because if we die or if something happens, because of the attachments, right? The ego doesn't want to leave this. Most of the time people fear of death because they don't want to lose his identity. What if I die? What if I lose my, this family, this house? I have to leave everything and I have to go. That fear, that ego is there because this is what I am. We are attached to this identity. When we are no longer attached to this, then we understand there is no death. It's again the mind, right? Because the soul is always there. It never born, it never dies. It's just a body that changes. but we are attached to this physical form, that I'm so and so, I'm working here, this is what my identity. So watching these patterns dissolve them, when you observe what happening, why this fear is coming from, what kind of thoughts I'm getting it, then slowly it get dissolved. True power comes from being, not the mind, right? Because when you be with the mind, it causes a fear. But when you be an observer, you get the true power. You're not in the fear, but you are being an observer. This ego search for wholeness. So when you be an observer, the what happens, the ego is not getting food. So the ego carries a deep sense of lack or incompleteness. It feels there is something is missing. So what happens? It tries to fill. It has to get something. So as I said, these all emotions and all, right, they cannot be destroyed. It has to transmute into some other form. So this ego, the fear ego, what it does, it transmutes into something else. It makes us people think, right, there is something that missing is there. It transmutes into something else. Like we have to earn money, I'm lacking of money, or I'm lacking in success or reputation, whatever is that. Then people start running after this because they don't know that incompleteness is coming from the ego, but they think that incompleteness is coming from, these all materialistic things, and they run after that. They earn money, they earn success, everything, but after some time, still that incompleteness is still there because we never worked on that. We were working on something else. So after doing all these things, still we feel the same, that lack within us. So that ego must constantly identify it with external things. Right? These identities are not who we truly are, that we need to understand. So whatever we are looking for, it's inside us. So we need to fix it within us. So freedom comes from letting them go. So the whatever that thoughts and emotions that lack is coming, you need to let it go. You need to understand that you have everything. There is nothing lack. It's just the mind is creating these situations and things. So die before you die. So when here dying means to leave all those identity, let go of your identity, who you are. Just be an observer. When you do that, means you're losing your identity. That means you're almost like a dying state, right? You're no longer attached to this identity. So when you do this, when you die, before you actually die, then there is no death because you're no longer attached to that. Even if actual death comes, you're no longer worried or no longer, fearful about it. You can face it. So discover peace beyond the fear and loss. So friends, so this was the chapter, the summary that we went through. Here are some of the few points, the key takeaways that we learned today. Pain grows when we resist the present moment. So accept whatever is happening in the present moment. Stored emotional pain lives as the pain body. The more we store the emotion, it creates the pain body. So don't, store it. Either resolve it or let go of it. Presence is the key to healing. The more you be in the present moment, you can heal your pain, you can heal your emotional body. Fear is mostly future based and ego driven. True peace and the wholeness are found now. When in the present moment, you get the peace and the wholeness. And some of the questions that you can reflect upon, where I am resisting this moment, right? Right now, what I'm resisting in my day-to-day life, what triggers my pain most, right? If someone says something or some kind of actions, what is triggering me? Just identify them, notice them. Can I feel without adding a story? When something emotion is going on, are you able to observe or you are trying to judge? Just notice whenever you can in your day-to-day life. Is this fear about now or the future? Why are you worried? Who am I without my labels? Leave everything. I'm so working in so and so company. I'm a male or female or this and this. Leave everything. Just think, who am I? Can you identify yourself without any of these kind of labels? So thank you, friends. I hope this was helpful. So with this, if anybody wants to, have any questions or want to share your experience or your thoughts about this, yeah, please You can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself. Or if you notice any of these things in your day-to-day life, or you have anything, please do share. All are still thinking? Yes.
Okay, I would like to add a few things. Yeah. So so definitely the author says about the present moment and awareness. So we have to understand how to apply these things in our day-to-day life. So that is very, very important, friends. Just identify what is causing the pain on your body in day-to-day activities, either workplace or relationship or anything, and then work on it. So how you can be in the present moment, how to handle the situations. So that is the main key here. And as author says, there are two types of, again, physical body pain and emotions. So once we identify and once we are in the awareness, the key thing is awareness, again, present moment and conscious living. So most of the things we access our subconscious mind, again, go to old self and come back. And again, we feel sad or go into the low emotions, low vibrations. So here again, the meditation helps you to be in the present moment, awareness, and conscious living. So let's take down, you can make a notes what you're getting, day to day life, if anything, how you're observing things. So it really helps because we listen many things, but the main challenge here is to apply into our day to day life. It's not easy because we live in the society and we go at work and we meet with different people. So many things triggers immediately, when we see our boss, suppose if we had a strong discussion or something, it triggers back. So we have to identify immediately, okay, and then respond it instead of reacting. So if you apply that with awareness, definitely we can transform internally. We can handle things very smoothly without any pain to your physical body or your mental body. Thank you.
Yeah, so I have shared, whatever my understanding, but you all can definitely go through this chapter. You can understand more when you read, right? Everyone has their own way of understanding. So please, whenever you get time, go through these lessons as well. Here we are discussing some of the key points or the essence of the chapter, but when you read the book, you will understand more. Yes, friends, anybody else have any questions or want to share? Yeah. If there are no questions, yeah, then we'll go into the meditation. Yeah. So, friends, as usual, we will do the breath mindfulness meditation. So, sit comfortably as you see in the picture. If you're sitting on the floor, just clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, close your eyes. And if you're sitting on the chair or sofa, cross your leg at the ankle. We are doing this so that, we form the energy circuit within us. We are closing our senses inwards. Most of the time, our senses are outwards. We try to listen or hear or see outside, but now we are going within. We are trying to look, hear what's happening within us. Just be an observer. As we read in the chapter, just notice and be an observer what's happening within you. The more we practice the meditation, the more that awareness comes naturally. And just observe your normal natural breath. Whenever you feel that you are getting thoughts or you are being carried away by the thoughts, just bring attention back to the breath. So initially we need to do the same thing multiple times, right? We get thoughts, then we bring attention back to the breath. Then after some time again we feel like we're getting thoughts and we need to bring it back. But after a few days or few weeks, it's quite natural. The quantity of thoughts they get reduced and you'll be in that empty state for a longer period of time. But initially we need to make some effort. So friends, with this, let's go into the meditation. We'll play the music and the guidance. So please follow and let's do this meditation. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Just observe normal, natural in-breath and out-breath. Don't forcefully inhale or exhale. Just observe how breath is going in and coming out. As you observe the breath, thoughts around you.
Friends, just observe your normal natural breath, friends. Just completely relax. Just observe how breath is going in, how breath is coming out. Just be with your breath. Just be aware of your breath. When you observe your breath, your mind gets empty. Whenever your mind is empty, you receive lots of cosmic energy. Just be in that emptiness state. Just bring your attention to the natural rhythm of your breathing. Just simply notice the breath as it comes in and as it goes out. Now gently shift your awareness to the inner body. Just try to go into yourself deeper and deeper. Friends, gently observe your in breath and out breath. Just everything is empty around you, inside you. Just with that emptiness, just be with your breath. Just observe how breath is going in, how breath is coming out. Just be aware of the breath. Friends, bring your attention back to the breath. Get any thoughts, just use them gently and let them pass. Bring your attention back to the current moment. Try to go towards current you. Everything is empty inside you. Around you. Just match with that emptiness. Past, no future. Just be in the present moment with your breath. Just completely surrender yourself and be with your breath. Friends, as we remain in the space of stillness, gently bring back your awareness to your body. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, allow a feeling of gratitude. Begin by offering gratitude for this moment. Silently express gratitude for your body, for all that it does for you. Gratitude to the current moment, Gratitude to all gods, teachers, gurus, mentors in your life. Be grateful to your parents during this beautiful life. Be grateful to your friends, family members around you. Finally, be grateful to the nature. Slowly rub your palms and keep it on your eyes 5 seconds. And slowly open your eyes when you are ready. Thank you, friends. If you have, if anybody would like to share your experience or any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself.
So thank you, friends. I hope you enjoyed today's session. So we'll see you all tomorrow at the same time. We'll go through the chapter 3 of this book, followed by meditation. So please join by 9 p.m. Central Time. Thank you and good night, all of you.